I guess I kind of want to leave you with a final note. Is there anything you feel like you really want to share or say that's important to your story and experience? We want to hand you the mic.
I forgot to state that my grandma, she only speaks Zapoteco.
Yeah.
So that's the indigenous language that existed there before our lands got colonized on the southern part of Mexico. And I remember when I was growing up, I did get teased for being Oaxacan. And it was kind of difficult for me because I didn't understand why that was funny. And sometimes some of my elementary school friends, right, because they're kids, right? Now I'm older and I understand that, they're kids, but still, it was hurtful. And some of them would watch my parents speak in Zapoteco, and my eyes are kind of small. So they would call me Chinese. They're like, oh, we don't understand. Like, your parents talk funny and you have small eyes. Are you Chinese? And I would tell them, like, no, I am Latino, just like you. They're like, oh, well, your parents talk weird. What is that? Right. And I would try my best to explain it to them. And so when I met my husband is African American. We had a discussion about racism. And I told him, in my Latinx community, I am indigenous and I experience racism within my own community sometimes. And I had to explain to him what it means when somebody calls you indita or indito. It's a derogatory slur against a person of indigenous descent. And I told him about how I would navigate school wondering if my teachers were treating me different because I was short, brown, and indigenous. I would wonder that. And when the whole situation happened with not council, but this woman named Nuri Martinez, right? And she was talking about African American people and Oaxacan people. I told my husband, look, there it is. And shortly after that, my husband and I, we were on an Uber ride, and there was this guy who was talking about the Nuri Martinez situation, right? And he told me, well, they are ugly, right? They look weird. I have a Oaxacan friend who we caught him fail because he looks weird, right? And he kept talking about this person, this friend of his. And I never disclosed to him that I was Oaxacan. I just let him keep going. And he said a bunch of other things. And at the end, he was like, so where are you from? And I was like, oh, my parents are from Oaxaca, but I was born here. And he was like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I did not mean no disrespect. He was like, I'm ugly too. I'm ugly too. He was trying to justify it, right? And at the end, he kept saying, like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was like, forget it. Like, I'm not going to hold it against you, but just, you never know who's Oaxacan. And it was, it was hurtful a little, but, I forgive you.
Thanks for sharing that. As an
Yeah.
indigenous person myself, like trying to reclaim that is, that story is super powerful. So yeah, and I'm also sorry that you went through that. That's not okay for anybody to hear or for anybody to say.
Yeah.
But again, like Michelle was saying, we really appreciate your story. And I think you didn't just touch on you being a lawyer and like the justice system. You also talked about like humanity and coming back to ourselves, checking in with ourselves, having that respect that we show
Yes.
others for ourselves. So I want to say, yeah, just thank you for sharing that as well.
Thank you. And, I didn't mean to laugh. Like, the situation is like not serious, but for me, my coping mechanism is laughing a
Yes.
little.
Yes.
Um, yeah, it's been quite a journey. I feel like me being Oaxacan American, you're saying you're indigenous too. You understand what it's like to walk into a room and being the only indigenous person in the room. It can be very challenging. I wanted to say this too, though. I'm a very proud indigenous woman. I'm gonna tell you that. Like, I am very proud because, like, we're the people that were able to survive colonialism, right? We still get to speak our language. We have our food. We have the ruins in Oaxaca, Mexico, and other indigenous places has their culture many times. And there's a lot of pride in that now because many people are trying to find out where they come from and all those things. And I feel like in some ways I am blessed to know that I am una mujer indígena que sabe zapoteco y hay mucho orgullo porque la gente necesita que saber que nosotras también podemos y sí se pudo y ahora soy una abogada. So, si quieren ustedes hacer unos sueños en realidad, ustedes tienen todo lo que necesitan en su poder. Ustedes son unas mujeres bellas y inteligentes.